Hello everyone, it's me Sanjay Vasu back again for another video. This time I'm doing it on Cambridge IGCSE Mathematics Paper 2, which is the extended paper 1 for October/November 2021. This is also variant number 1. Let's start. Question 1. P is a prime number where 60 is less than P and P is less than 80. P is 2 less than a square number. Find the value of P. So in between these two numbers, the square number is 8 squared, which is equal to 64, and 9 squared, which is equal to 81. You might ask, well, 81 is not between these two, right? But then if you subtract 2 to get P, it'll be inside these conditions. So 81 minus 2 is equal to 79, and this is equal to P. This is also a prime number, so that's correct. That's the answer. By the way, if you thought 64 minus 2 could be correct, obviously not, because it'll be 62, which is not a prime number, is divisible by 2 and divisible by 31. That's the answer. Question 2. Hank flies from Los Angeles to Shanghai. A. The flight departs on Friday, 22nd July at 9:40 p.m. or 21:40 hours. The flight takes 13 hours 35 minutes. The local time in Shanghai is 15 hours ahead of the local time in Los Angeles. Find the day, date, and time in Shanghai when Hank's flight arrives. So the flight time is 13 hours 35 minutes. So 21:40 plus 13:35. We get 34:75, which is simply can be written as 11:15 the next day, which is 23rd July. So I'll just write as 23rd. By the way, how did I get 11:15? First of all, you cannot have more than 60 minutes here, so we can subtract 60 to make it 1 hour added over here. Add 1 hour, subtract 60, we get 35:15. And this is not actually a time though, because this is 35, which is greater than 24. So we can do 35:15 minus 24 hours to get the same time on the next day. So it's 11:15 as I got here on the next day, which is 23rd of July. And then the time in Shanghai will be 15 hours ahead of this time. So Shanghai time is equal to 11:15 plus 15 hours. That'll be 26:15, which is equal to 2:15 on the 24th, which is 2 days after 22nd. So it'll be Saturday, Sunday, which is the second day after Friday. So the day is Sunday, date is 24th July, and the time is 2:15 in 24-hour time. That's the answer. B. The cost of the flight is $920. The exchange rate is $1 equals 6.87 Chinese yuan. Find the cost of the flight in yuan. So that'll be equal to $920 into 6.87, because that's the exchange rate. Let's get our calculator out. 920 into 6.87, that's 6,320.40 yuan. That's the answer. 6,320.40. Let's go to question 3. Calculate 4.87 minus 2.7 by minus 0.2 plus cube root of 0.729. That will be equal to 2.17 by minus 0.2 plus 0.9, because that is the cube root of 0.729. So that will be equal to 2.17 by 0.7, and when you do that, you'll get the answer as 3.1. That's the answer. Question 4. The number of items that each of 22 people buy in a supermarket is shown in the stem and leaf diagram. A. Find the mode. The mode is the most repeats, or the number which has the most repeats. in the full data. And over here, that'll be these 2's over here, which is 22 items. Now let's go to part B, find the median. Now 22 people means the median will be the middle number of 1, which is the lowest number of people, and 22, which is the highest. So that'll be 1 plus 22 by 2, because there are only two numbers and we need to find median, which is middle number. So we find the average of the two. 23 by 2 is 11.5, so that'll be 11 or 12%. And where do we find that? We have 4 here, and then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 here, and then the 12th person is here. So the median will be 29, which is 11%, plus 31, 12% by 2 for average. That'll be equal to 30. That's the answer. Question 5. The table shows the relative frequency of the games won by a football team. The result for winning is 0.1. Lost and drawn are not given. Number of games lost is twice the number of games drawn. Complete the table. So let's say the number of games drawn is equal to n. So the number of games lost will be 2n. 2n plus n is equal to 1 minus 0.1, because the relative frequency always adds up to 1. So 3n is equal to 0.9. N is equal to 0.3, because we divide by 3. So drawn is 0.3, and lost is equal to 0.3 into 2, because 2n, that will be equal to 0.6. By the way, this value is the drawn value. That's the answer. Let's go to question 6. Question 6. The scale drawing shows the positions of two towns, P and Q. The scale is 1 centimeter represents 4 kilometers. A. Find the actual distance between town P and town Q. So if we draw a line over here and measure it after printing it out, you will get 8.2 centimeters. And 1 centimeter represents 4 kilometers. So 8.2 centimeters into 4 to get the kilometers value. That'll be 32.8 kilometers. B. Measure the bearing of town Q from town P. So that means we have to measure this angle. It's the clockwise angle from the node line of town P, which goes towards town Q. And if you measure the angle correctly, you'll get 65 degrees. C. Town X is 28 kilometers from town P on a bearing of 140 degrees. On the scale drawing, mark the position of town X. It's 28 kilometers, and 28 kilometers, we just divide that by 4 to get the length or the distance in the scale drawing. So that'll be 7 centimeters. And that means it's 7 centimeters away on the bearing of 140 degrees from P. So we take north line, 140 degrees like that. We have to measure using protractor, and then draw a line 7 centimeters in that direction, which is 140 degrees. This is 140 degrees. And if this length is 7 centimeters, that means this point over here is town X. That's the answer. Question 7. Without using a calculator, work out 1 5 by 6 plus 2 by 5. You must show all your working and give your answer as a mixed number in simplest form. So that will be equal to 11 by 6 plus 2 by 5. So we do 11 by 6, multiply both sides by 5, 55 by 30, plus multiply both sides by 6, 12 by 30. That will be equal to 67 by 30. That is equal to 7 by 30. And as said in the question, we have done all this without a calculator. That's the answer. Question 8. Solve the simultaneous equations. You must show all your working. 4x minus 2y equals minus 13, number 1. Minus 3x plus 4y equals 11, number 2. Now we can do 1 into 2 to get 8x minus 4y equals minus 26. Now we can do this equals 3. So 2 will be minus 3x plus 4y equals 11. Now 3 plus 2 to get rid of the y values. So 5x is equal to negative 15, x equals negative 3. Now we need to find the y value. We can substitute this into equation 2. I'll just bring this here. Now we can substitute into equation 2, for example. So minus 3 into minus 3 plus 4y is equal to 11. 9 plus 4y equals 11. 4y is equal to 11 minus 9, 2. Y equals 2 by 4, which is 0.5. That's the answer. Let's go to question 9. Calculate the value of x. So we need to use trigonometry for this. We have the adjacent to x and then the hypotenuse. Which trigonometric formula out of this? So Katoa is like a metric to remember sine, cos, and tan. Which one involves the adjacent and hypotenuse? It's this one, right? Cos, which means cos of theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse. That's the full form of this abbreviation. Cos of x, which is the angle, that will be 7 by 12. So x equals cos inverse of 7 by 12. And let's go do it on a calculator. 7 divided by 12 is equal to this value, 0.58333 goes on. And cos inverse, we get 54.3 degrees. It's best to give all angle answers to one decimal place if they are non-recurring and non-terminating decimals, which means pretty much irrational numbers. That's the answer. Let's go to question 10. A regular polygon has an interior angle of 174 degrees. Find the number of sides of this polygon. So if its interior angle is equal to 174 degrees, exterior angle is equal to 180 minus interior angle, as that is I, so 180 minus 174, 6 degrees. That's quite small. Anyway, number of sides, n, is equal to 360 by exterior angle, which is E. So that'll be 360 divided by 6, 60 sides. That's quite a lot of sides, right? Anyway, that's the answer. Question 11. Line L has the equation y equals 4 minus 5x. Find the equation of a line that's perpendicular to line L and passes through the point 0, 6. This line can be written as y equals minus 5x plus 4. Now, perpendicular to line L means that the gradient m will be minus of 1 by the m before. We can name the new gradient as m1. So m1 is equal to minus 1 by minus 5. That will be equal to 1 by 5. So y equals 1 by 5x plus c. And c is the y-intercept, right? Now, pass through the point 0, 6. The y value has 6 and the x value has 0. So it passes through the point 0, 6. That means passes through 0, 6. And because the y value has a number and x value is 0, this is the coordinate of the y-intercept. So y-intercept, or c, is equal to 6. So y equals 1 by 5x plus 6. That's the answer. Y equals 1 by 5x plus 6. Let's go to question 12. Chai invests some money. By the end of the first year, the value of the investments decreased by 35%. By the end of the second year, the value of the investment has increased by 40% of its value at the end of the first year. Find the overall percentage change in the value of the investment. So, end of first year, it'll be 100 minus 35%, of course, multiplied by the value of the investment at the start of the first year. So let's just call that as N. So I'll just say that the money invested is N. So that'll be 65% of N. And now at the end of second year, it'll be 65% of n into 40 plus 100, which is equal to 140%. So that'll be, let's get our calculator out. Here we go, 65 into 140. And since there's a percentage, we divide by 100. That's 91% of n. And the percentage change will be minus 9%. Because it is 91%, which is 9 less than 100%, right? Which is the full thing. So that's why minus 9% is the answer. Question 13. Solve 4 minus 3x is greater than or equal to 6 minus x by 5. That means 5 into 4 minus 3x, bring 5 to the other side, greater than or equal to 6 minus x. 20 minus 15x, greater than or equal to 6 minus x. Now bringing 15x to this side and 6 to the other side, 20 minus 6 is greater than or equal to 15x minus x. So 14 is greater than or equal to 14x, and x is less than or equal to 1. Why is it less than or equal to? Is because when we bring the x value to this side and 14 to the other side, the sign flips like that. So 14x is less than or equal to 14, and x is less than or equal to 1. So that's our answer. Question 14. Y is inversely proportional to the square root of x minus 2. When x equals 4.25, y equals 12. Find x for when y equals 3. So y is inversely proportional to the square root of x minus 2. Y is proportional to k by square root of x minus 2. So when x is 4.25, y is equal to 12. So 12 is equal to, we can make an equation now, k by square root of 4.25 minus 2. So 12 equals k by square root of 2.25, and square root of 2.25 is equal to 1.5. So 12 equals k by 1.5. K is equal to 12 into 1.5, which is 18. Now when y is equal to 3, we can find x, right? So when y is equal to 3, 3 is equal to 18, which is k by root of x minus 2. Square root of x minus 2 is equal to 18 by 3, which is 6. X minus 2 is equal to 6 squared, which is equal to 36. X is equal to 36 plus 2, and x is equal to 38. That's the answer. Let's go to question 15. The diagram shows 3 shapes that are mathematically similar. The heights of the shapes are in the ratio small is to medium is to large equals 1 is to 5 is to 8. So this is 1 part, 5 part, and 8 part, like this. Find the ratio shaded area is to total unshaded area. Give your answer in simplest form. So if the ratio of the heights is 1 is to 5 is to 8, that means the ratio of the length is also 1 is to 5 is to 8. So the ratio of areas, by the way, I'll just mention that the lengths of the shapes are also in this ratio here. So the ratio of the areas, that'll be equal to 1 squared is to 5 squared is to 8 squared, which is equal to 1 is to 25 is to 64. So shaded area is equal to the shape with the area of 25 units minus the shape with the area of 1 unit. So shaded area equals 25 minus 1, 24 units. And unshaded area equals the area of this full shape over here, the big one, minus the area of the shaded one, right? So that'll be 64 minus 24, which is equal to 40 units. So that means the ratio is equal to 24 is to 40, which is equal to 3 is to 5. That's the answer. Question 16. Find the nth term of each sequence. 8, 8, 15, 34, 71, 132, goes on. Let's find the difference between one term minus the next term. Between one term minus the previous term. So 15 minus 8 is 7. So we add 7 here. And then 34 minus 15, 19. Add 19. Then add 37. And then we add 61. And then for the difference between these, it is add 12, add 18, and then add 24. We can see that these are the multiples of 6 excluding 6, right? And if you go for third difference, you will have add 6, like that. So there are 3 differences. That means that this is related to x cubed, or the order of the nth term is x cubed. So x cubed is related. X cubed for n equals 1 is 1. Then n equals 2, 8. N equals 3, 27. N equals 4, 64. N equals 5, 125. And as we can see over here, x cubed, which is the sequence over here in blue, if we add 7 to that for all the values, we get the values of the sequence given in the question. So x cubed plus 7. That's the answer. B, 2 by 1, 3 by 4, 4 by 16, 5 by 64, 6 by 2, 56. So we can separate this into a sequence of the numerator and sequence of the denominator. So when n is equal to 1, the numerator is 2, denominator is 1. N equals 2, numerator is 3, denominator is 4. N equals 3, numerator is 4, denominator is 16. We can take it like that. First, let's write the numerator sequence. That's 2, right? So we can write that as 1 plus 1. And then 3, 2 plus 1. 4, 3 plus 1. 5, 4 plus 1. 6, 5 plus 1. Why are we doing this? Because now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are the n values, right? And then we just add 1 to them to get the numerator. See where we're going? Now we can do a similar thing with the denominator. First of all, this is n plus 1. And our denominator will be 1, 4, 16, 64, 256. We're multiplying by 4, right? So we can do 4 to the power of n. But then for the first one, 4 to the power n is equal to 1. That means n is supposed to be equal to 0, but n is equal to 1, right? So if n is equal to 1, we need to subtract 1, right, to get 0. So minus 1 we can put there. And pretty much that's it. Because 4 to the power of n minus 1, let's say n is 1, n minus 1 equals 0. 4 to the power of 0 equals 1, which is the denominator. N equals 2. 4 to the power of 2 minus 1 is equal to 4 to the power of 1. 4, denominator here. N equals 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 squared is 16. So, the full sequence is equal to n plus 1 by 4 to the power of n minus 1. That's the answer. N plus 1 by 4 to the power n minus 1. Question 17. Y equals 3x minus 2 by 1 minus x. Make x the subject of the formula. First, we can bring the denominator to the other side of the equal sign. Y into 1 minus x equals 3x minus 2. Next, we can expand the bracket. Y minus xy is equal to 3x minus 2. Now we can bring x terms to one side and y terms to the other side. Since we are making x a subject, we'll keep this xy on the same side as the 3x. So we can bring xy here and then the minus 2 over here. That means y plus 2 is equal to 3x plus xy. Now we can factorize x. X into 3 plus y is equal to y plus 2. And now x is equal to y plus 2 by 3 plus y, or you can write that as y plus 3 just for an orderly fashion. And that is our answer since we brought x to the subject. Let's go to question 18. Question 18. The diagram shows some land in the shape of a triangle ABC. Houses are built on this land. Each house requires 400 meters square of land. Find the greatest number of houses that can be built on this land. So there's an area of triangle formula. It doesn't have to be half BH all the time. We don't know what's the height, right? So we can use the formula half AB sine C, which means half of two sides and this multiplied by the sine of the angle in between them. So half into 800 into 2300 multiplied by sine 30. That will be equal to 400 into 2300 sine 30. I'll show you why we're doing this and keeping it as 400 in a moment. So let's do 2300 sine 30. As you know that sine 30 is equal to 1 by 2, so we can replace that. 400 into 2300 into half. This one will become 1150. So it'll be, first of all, like that. 400 into 2300 into half. That will be 400 into 1150. Well, we do not really need to finish this because each house requires 400 meters square of land. So the area will be 400 into 1150. So the number of houses will be 400 into 1150 by 400 meters squared, because that's the area for one house. We can cancel the 400s to get 1150 houses. That's the answer. Question 19. Write as a single fraction in simplest form. 2 by x plus 3 minus x plus 2 by 7. So to do this, we need to make this denominator as 1. So that'll be 14 minus x plus 2 into x plus 3 by the full denominator, which is 7 into x plus 3. Why is it 14? Because 2 into 7 is simply 14. So 14 minus x squared plus 5x plus 6 by 7x plus 21. So that'll be equal to 8 minus x squared minus 5x by 7x plus 21. And this is our answer. And we can write this answer over here, 8 minus 5x minus x squared. I'm writing it like this just because we have a no x term, an x term, x squared term. It's like an orderly manner, right? That's why I'm writing like that. And then divide by 7x plus 21. You can write this as 7 into x plus 3. It's also okay. That's the answer. Question 20. Solve 3 into 2 plus cos x equals 5 for 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 360. That means 2 plus cos x is equal to 5 by 3. And that means cos x is equal to 5 by 3 minus 2, which is equal to minus 1 by 3. X is equal to cos inverse of minus 1 by 3, or x equals 360 minus cos inverse minus 1 by 3. Why are we doing this? It's because of the inequality given, 0 less than or equal to x less than or equal to 360 degrees. This means anywhere inside the graph of y equals cos x, like this. So the graph will be like this. Let's say we have 1, 0, 1 in the y-axis, and the x-axis over here, we have 90, 180, 270, 360. So we have 4 points like that. It goes something like this. And as you can see, you have 1 point. Like, let's say this is the x value of theta. So it goes through 2 points on the cos graph. Except for this value at the bottom, where y equals minus 1, it only goes to 1 point, is 180. All other lines which you draw, horizontal lines, go through 2 points on the cos graph. That's why there are 2 solutions. So if we do this, x equals, we can put 2 of them, because we have 2 values. And now we can get a calculator out. Here we go. Now we go minus 1 by 3. And then we just do cos inverse to that. 109.47, which you can round to 109.5 degrees. Or x is equal to 360 minus this answer. So let's just do 360 minus 109.5. That's 250.5 degrees. And that's our answer. Let's just write it down. X equals 109.5 degrees or 250.5 degrees. That's the answer. Let's go to question 21. The diagram shows a pyramid A, B, C, D, E as given here. The pyramid has a square horizontal base ABCD with side 5 centimeters, which is this. The vertex E is vertically above the center O of the base. So that means this is a vertical line. The height is 9 centimeters. Calculate the angle that EC makes with the base ABCD. That means you have to calculate this angle, for example. So for that, first we need to find the length of this side. So for that, we're going to need to calculate the length of EC, and obviously it'll be equal to the length of EB since this is a square and this is vertically above. So not just for EB, all four lines here, the sides of the triangles are equal. So to find EC, we need to find this length over here. Only then this is a right angle triangle. So we can use this right angle triangle here, ACB or ABC, to get the length of AC. So 5 squared plus 5 squared equals AC squared. That means 25 plus 25, 50 is equal to AC squared. And AC equals root 50 centimeters. And we can just write this as, since 50 is equal to 25 into 2, that means we can write it as root 25 into root 2, which is equal to 5 root 2. 5 root 2 centimeters. Now, OC will be equal to 5 root 2 by 2 centimeters, right? And that means this length squared plus this length squared is equal to this length squared. So 9 plus 5 root 2 by 2, we square both of these, we get EC squared. EC is equal to root of 81 plus, what's this value? 5 root 2 squared is equal to 50. 2 squared is 4, so 50 by 4, 12.5. 81 plus 12.5, the root of that, EC will be equal to root of 93.5, which is equal to, let's get a calculator out, in 0.67 centimeters to 3 significant figures. Now we've done finding EC. Now we need to find the angle. So the angle can be said as, in this right angle triangle EOC, angle ECO. So let's just draw triangle EOC. Like that. This is 9 centimeters. This is 5 root 2 by 2 centimeters. And this is root 93.5. I'll just write for sake of writing here. You can also write 9.67 centimeters here. And obviously this is a right angle triangle since this vertical line is perpendicular with flat surface or the base. Now we need to find this angle because this is EOC. We need to find angle ECO. And to find that, we can use any trigonometric formula. So we have all three sides. If you want to use sine x or sine theta, that will be opposite by hypotenuse, which means 9 by root 93.5 or 9.67. If you want to use cosine theta, that will be adjacent by hypotenuse, which is equal to 5 root 2 by 2 divided by 93.5 root. And if you want to use tan formula, which I'll be using now, tan theta equals opposite by adjacent. I'll just draw a line here. Tan angle ECO is equal to opposite 9 by adjacent 5 root 2 by 2. So that means that'll be equal to 18 by 5 root 2, since this by 2 will come up since it's in the denominator. That means angle ECO will be equal to tan inverse of 18 by 5 root 2 or root 50. So let's get our calculator out. 18 divided by the root 50 is equal to this, and tan inverse, we get 68.6 degrees. That's the answer. Let's go to question 22. A. Simplify x to the power 2 by 3 by x to the power 8 by 3. That will be equal to x to the power of 2 by 3 minus 8 by 3 using the division rule. That will be x to the power of minus 6 by 3, which is x to the power minus 2. That's the answer. B. 16 equals 64 to the power k. Find the value of k. 16 is equal to 4 squared, and that will be equal to 4 cubed whole to the power k, since 64 is equal to 4 cubed. So 4 squared is equal to 4 to the power 3k. 2 is equal to 3k, and k is equal to 2 by 3. That's the answer. C. Solve 3 to the power 3x into 1 by 9 whole to the power 4 minus 3x equals 3. That means we can bring to the power of 3. 3 to the power of 3x into 3 to the power of minus 2 whole thing to the power of 4 minus 3x. How is this 3 to the power minus 2? Because 1 by 9 is 1 by 3 squared. 3 squared is 9. And since it's 1 by n, or n is equal to 3 squared, 1 by n is equal to n to the power of minus 1. So 1 by 3 squared. There's a rule that 1 by n to the power a is equal to n to the power minus a. This is a exponent law. So 1 by 3 squared is equal to 3 to the power minus 2. And that's how we got this. And this full thing is equal to 3. Now 3 to the power of 3x into 3 to the power of minus 8 plus 6x. Just multiplying these two, since it's an exponent rule, that's equal to 3 to the power of 1. 3 to the power of 3x minus 8 plus 6x is equal to 3 to the power of 1. And this will be 9x minus 8 over here. It'll be equal to 1. 9x is equal to 1 plus 8, 9. X equals 1. And that is our final answer. And it's literally final, since this is the end of the paper. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, share this video with your friends and family, and comment on how you think this video was. With that, it's me, Sanjay Vasu, signing out. Thank you. Bye.